The night had already been filled with moments that felt impossible to top. The ARIRANG World Tour, especially on this leg in Korea, had delivered everything fans could have dreamed of: explosive performances, emotional interactions, and unforgettable highlights that spread across the world within minutes. But just when everyone thought they had seen it all, something completely unexpected happened. It began in the middle of the concert, during one of the most energetic segments of the night. The music was loud, the choreography sharp, and the crowd completely immersed in the moment. Thousands of voices echoed through the stadium, creating a powerful wave of sound that seemed to lift the entire atmosphere. At the center of it all stood Jeon Jungkook, fully in control of the stage. His movements were precise, his energy unstoppable, and his presence magnetic. Every step, every note, every glance commanded attention. Everything was running perfectly, until suddenly, it wasn't. From the side of the stage, a figure appeared. At first, it didn't register. The lights were moving, the music was intense, and the focus was entirely on the performance. But slowly, as the figure stepped further into view, people began to notice that a man, calm, confident, walking onto the stage as if he belonged there. Fans in the front rows were the first to react. Wait, who is that? Is that part of the show? Is that Mr. Lee? The name spread quickly, like a ripple moving through the crowd. Mr. Lee, a figure known to many behind the scenes, often associated with production, management, or creative direction. Someone important, but not someone expected to suddenly appear on stage in the middle of a live performance. And yet, there he was. The music didn't stop immediately. Jungkook continued for a brief moment, but his focus shifted. His eyes moved toward the unexpected presence, and for the first time that night, there was a visible change in his expression. Surprise. Real, unfiltered surprise. Because whatever this was, it wasn't planned. Mr. Lee stepped forward, raising a hand slightly, not in a dramatic gesture, but enough to signal that something was about to happen. The choreography around him began to break formation, dancers slowing down, the structured performance dissolving into uncertainty. Then, the music cut. The sudden silence hit the stadium like a shockwave. Thousands of fans froze, their voices caught between confusion and anticipation. The lights softened slightly, focusing on the center of the stage where Jungkook and Mr. Lee now stood facing each other. For a brief moment, nothing happened. No movement, no words, just tension. Jungkook held the microphone, his breathing slightly heavier from the performance, his eyes fixed on Mr. Lee as if trying to understand what was happening in real time. And then, Mr. Lee spoke. His voice wasn't loud, but in the silence of the stadium, it carried clearly. The tone was calm, steady, yet filled with intention. It wasn't an interruption for the sake of chaos. It meant something. Fans leaned in, trying to catch every word. Jungkook listened, really listened. His expression shifted from confusion to focus, then to something deeper, something more emotional, more complex. It wasn't a typical stage reaction. It wasn't rehearsed. It was real. Whatever Mr. Lee was saying, it mattered. The audience could feel it. Even without fully understanding the details, the atmosphere changed. The energy of the concert transformed from explosive to intimate, from loud to deeply attentive. Because now, this wasn't just a performance. It was a moment no one had expected. A moment that wasn't scripted. A moment unfolding in real time. After speaking, Mr. Lee reached into his pocket. The movement was small, but it captured everyone's attention. What was he doing? What was he about to reveal? Jungkook watched closely, his expression still serious, still processing. Fans held their breath, phones raised, capturing every second of what was quickly becoming one of the most unpredictable moments of the entire tour. And then, Mr. Lee revealed it. A small item, simple, but meaningful. From a distance, it wasn't immediately clear what it was, but the reaction it triggered told a story of its own. Jungkook's expression changed instantly. Shock, recognition, emotion. It hit him all at once. His eyes softened, his posture shifted slightly, and for a brief moment, he looked vulnerable, completely different from the powerful performer who had dominated the stage just minutes earlier. Fans noticed immediately. What is that? Why does he look like that? What's happening? The tension turned into curiosity, then into emotional anticipation, because whatever Mr. Lee had just done, It had reached Jungkook on a personal level, not as an artist, but as a person. The silence stretched for a few seconds longer before Jungkook finally responded. He lowered the microphone slightly, as if needing a moment to process before speaking. When he did speak, his voice was softer, less performative, more real. The crowd listened in complete silence, no interruptions, no screaming. Just attention, because moments like this are rare. Moments where the barrier between stage and reality disappears. Moments where everything feels genuine. As the interaction continued, the emotional weight became clearer. This wasn't just a random interruption. It wasn't chaos. It was intentional, meaningful, something planned, but not revealed until this exact moment. A surprise, but not for the fans, for Jungkook. And that made it even more powerful, because the audience wasn't just watching a performance anymore. They were witnessing a reaction. A real one. And those are the moments that stay. Eventually, Mr. Lee stepped back, allowing the focus to return to Jungkook. But the atmosphere had already changed. The energy of the concert had shifted into something deeper, something more connected. Jungkook took a breath. A small one. But noticeable. Then he raised the microphone again. And when he sang, it was different, more emotional, more intense. As if whatever had just happened had unlocked something inside him. The notes carried more weight. The lyrics felt more personal. The connection with the audience grew stronger. Fans responded immediately, their voices rising not just in excitement, but in support. The energy returned, but now it was layered with something else. Understanding, emotion, connection. As the performance continued, it became clear that this moment had changed everything. It wasn't just another highlight. It was a turning point. A shift. A reminder that behind every performance, there are stories. And sometimes, those stories find their way onto the stage. As the concert moved toward its final stages, fans couldn't stop talking about what had happened. Even while cheering, even while singing along, their minds kept returning to that moment. Mr. Lee, the unexpected appearance, the mysterious object. Jungkook's reaction. It all felt like a piece of a larger story, one that fans would continue to discuss, analyze, and remember long after the tour ended. Because moments like this don't fade easily. They stay, they grow, they become part of the narrative. And as the night came to a close, one thing was certain. This wasn't just another concert. This was the night something unexpected changed everything. The night Jungkook was caught off guard. The night Mr. Lee stepped onto the stage and did something no one saw coming. And the night the line between performance and reality blurred in the most unforgettable way possible. No one saw this coming. During the BTS ARIRANG World Tour, something completely unexpected happened in the middle of the concert. Jeon Jungkook was performing as usual, powerful, focused, and unstoppable, until suddenly, Mr. Lee walked onto the stage. The music stopped, the crowd froze, and Jungkook looked completely shocked. What happened next left fans speechless. This wasn't part of the performance. It was something real, from confusion to emotional reaction. This moment quickly went viral worldwide. Watch the full story and decide for yourself. Backhand index pointing down. Purple heart. Like if you were shocked. Purple heart. Comment what you think really happened. Purple heart. Subscribe for more BTS viral moments.